Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, could the Cabinet Secretary explain the following? One, provide details on the state of security in this country, including steps being taken by the ministry to avert death and destruction of property, especially during demonstrations. Number two, to outline actions being taken to forestall the destruction of property and death during demonstrations. And three, indicate when the government will apprehend the culprit or culprits responsible for financing and mobilizing of demonstrations that led to deaths and destruction of property, especially on the 25th of June 2025 and the 7th of July 2025.
Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first let me start by apologizing for being unable to attend the last two sessions as per your invitation, and thank the House for the indulgence for allowing me to attend to the other national security duties, including an engagement that involved the President of Uganda, which ensured that we were unable to be here as requested. So, Mr. Speaker, you know that anytime I'm invited to come to the House, I take great joy and appreciation, and I have great support for this august House and utmost respect for its duties and my responsibilities to appear before you. So, Mr.
Apology
Speaker,
taken. Now answer the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the question raised by the Honorable Kimani Kuria, part one is on the state of security in the country, including steps being taken by the National Police Service to avert death and destruction of property during demonstrations. Honorable Speaker, since last year, the country has witnessed a series of protests across various counties following calls for anti-finance bill demonstrations, which culminated in the protests of the 25th June 2024 and resulted in an unfortunate fatalities and destruction of property. In 2025, despite a general return to normalcy, political actors renewed online mobilization effort calling for fresh demonstrations. Mobilizations was largely conducted through social media platforms using hashtags, Mr. Speaker, such as Occupy State House, Occupy Everywhere, Syrian in numbers, 77 in numbers, among others. Despite advice by police commanders, no prior notification was submitted to the police by the organizers as required by law. Consequently, the National Police Service only became aware of the planned protest through media, prompting the police to prepare the necessary security plans to maintain public safety and restore order. In other cases, some organizers assured security agencies that the demonstration would be peaceful. However, Mr. Speaker, contrary to these utterances and assurances, the protests quickly escalated into chaos and violence, culminating in incidences of looting, arson, and widespread destruction of public and private property. The protests were further characterized by widespread acts of lawlessness, which led to torching of 9 police stations and posts, Deputy County Commissioner's office, and court buildings. In addition, numerous supermarkets and private business premises were vandalized and looted, resulting in significant economic losses and disruption of essential services. In particular, Mr. Speaker, during Sabasaba demonstrations, 25 lives were lost, with 45 civilians and 170 police officers injured. Key among the government offices and premises that were damaged in the 2 demonstrations include the Assistant Chief's Office, Molo Ward Administrator Office, and Molo Railway Station, Nakuru County, Office of the Women Representative in Kisii County, NCPB Sagana Administration Block. And on 25th June, Mr. Speaker, we regrettably lost lives, and close to 600 others were injured, including 496 law enforcement officers. Public facilities also bore the brunt of the destruction, including Dagoretti Police Post, where the criminals stole guns and razed residential buildings housing the police families. In Kikuyu, a mob attacked government offices, torching Kikuyu Police Station, the sub-county headquarters, National Registration Bureau offices, county government offices, Assistant Chief's Office, the Kenya Forest Service Office, Kikuyu Law Courts, as well as Dagoretti Police Post and police lines. They also partially destroyed the Kikuyu Sub-County Probation Office and damaged 4 motor vehicles belonging to Dagoretti Police Post, including that of other officer in charge. Other property destroyed in the Dagoretti Police Post, Mr. Speaker, includes 3 Probox vehicles, 1 double cabin, county government vehicle, a school bus, and 14-seater matatu that were parked within the police station. 5 guns were also stolen in Dagoretti Police Post, as I said. Another 4 firearms were burned in Gashui Police Post. One of the guns stolen in Dagoretti on 25th of June was used to commit robbery in Naivasha the following day. Further, on June 25th, a rowdy group of youth attacked Matu Police Station, leaving 8 officers injured and several government vehicles damaged. The building housing the station was also destroyed. 18 suspects were charged in connection with this particular attack. In Machakos County, Mr. Speaker, 66 suspects linked to the torching of a gas tanker along Kitui Road on 7th July were arrested and charged. In another attack, arsonists invaded and burned Olkalau Police Station along, Mr. Speaker, killing 3 suspects who were in custody. They also torched 26 vehicles, 18 county government motorbikes, burned down an exhibit store, and destroyed a reporting office. In Nakuru County, Mr. Speaker, Viwandani patrol base in Naivasha was burnt while firearm loaded with 20 rounds of ammunition was snatched by criminals at Shauri Moyo. Several other security installations across the country were attacked, leaving citizens exposed. A total of 16 police stations and posts were either burned or destroyed, and on the 2 days of terror. In Naivasha, Nakuru County, goons looted stock from Naivas, Power Star, and Ketia Supermarket, and thereafter set ablaze Power Star Supermarket. A total of 100 people were arrested and charged with various crimes in relation to these acts of criminality. In Ruiru, Mr. Speaker, within Kiambu County, a similar fate befell Quickmart and Carrefour supermarkets, where goons stole property worth millions of shillings after breaking windows and destroying CCTV cameras in the establishments. A total of 86 arrests were made in relation to the crimes committed on various charges were preferred. Naivas supermarket within Nyeri town was also broken into, and goods worth millions of shillings carted away. 21 suspects have been arrested in connection with this crime. On the same day, a group of rioters invaded Mountain Mall within Kasarani area in Nairobi County, where they looted goods from Naivas supermarket and other shops and the mall. 3 suspects were arrested and arraigned accordingly. At Kidurai 44 area, another set of criminals invaded Kismat supermarket. In Eldoret, goons broke into Ketia supermarket and stole goods worth millions of shillings. 12 suspects were arrested and arraigned in court. In Meru, a group of thugs set ablaze Muguna supermarket using suspected petrol bombs. The criminal elements also stole alcoholic drinks from 7-Eleven bar. Selenite supermarket was not spared the looting and mayhem. 40 suspects were arrested in Meru in relation with these criminal acts. In Kirinyaga County, 21 suspects linked to the looting at Nice supermarket in Muya town were arraigned. Gangs also torched the Kirinyaga Central NGCDF office, leading to the arrest and arraignment of 4 suspects. In Kikumo town, mobs broke into county supermarket and stole goods worth millions of shillings. 2 suspects were arrested and arraigned in connection with this incident. In another incident, Mr. Speaker, marauding gangs stormed the operating theater of the Kitengela Sub-County Hospital, interrupting an emergency cesarean section and terrorizing patients and medical staff. 2 suspects were arrested and arraigned in court. Evidently, all these events were well orchestrated and coordinated by certain actors with the intention of inciting unrest, destabilizing public order, and undermining national stability. In light of this evolving landscape of demonstrations, and more so the violent nature of the protests that proved to be a threat to national security, the National Police Service being constitutionally mandated to enforce law and order, Mr. Speaker, responded by implementing measures to forestall violence and violence and damage to property. The role of police in managing demonstrations is guided by the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, the Public Order Act, Cap 56, and the National Police Service Act of 2011. Article 37 of the Constitution of Kenya provided everyone has a right to assemble, to demonstrate, picket, present petition to public authorities, peacefully and unarmed. However, this right is not absolute and is subject to limitations provided for under Article 24 of the Constitution, which permits reasonable and justifiable limitation in a democratic society, e.g. to protect public order, public safety, and rights of others. The Public Order Act also provides the same, Mr. Speaker. And I have reproduced, Mr. Speaker, at length the various provisions of the Public Order Act, and I don't wish to read any further. The statement will be circulated, Mr. Speaker, which includes what of importance is the members of public are required to provide and present a notification to police officers at least 3 days before any such demonstrations. And that, Mr. Speaker, at least 3 days, but not more than 14 days before the event. And, Mr. Speaker, that must be in writing, who is coming to protest, the names, the estimated number, the routes, and so forth, Mr. Speaker. And the police may acknowledge the same. And this is not done so that we can give the right to demonstrations, basically, to ensure that the police officers are prepared to provide security during such demonstrations. So on part 2 of the question, Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Member would like to know on the actions being taken to forestall the destruction of property and death during demonstrations. And, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry remains steadfast in this commitment to safeguard lives and property during demonstrations through the following measures. Number 1, intensified both mobile and foot patrols in targeted areas to enhance visibility, deter criminal elements, and detect early signs of unrest. 2, intensified efforts to lobby for more budgetary allocation from the National Treasury to meet its logistical and operational requirements, hence rapid deployment capabilities during demonstrations. Number 3, embraced modern policing technologies such as CCTV surveillance, drone monitoring, digital communication systems, and incident mapping tools to monitor crowds, track threats in a real time, and coordinate timely intervention, ultimately enhancing the effectiveness of law enforcement during protests. 4, leverage on real-time intelligence, informer networks, and surveillance tools to identify planned disturbances and criminal elements before they mobilize. 5, engage with community leaders, civil society, and Nyumba Kumi clusters to help gather early warning information and promote peaceful resolution before protests escalate. And finally, Mr. Speaker, issue advanced public advisories and engage through media to encourage people demonstrations and warn against unlawful activities. Mr. Speaker, in addition to that, as a deterrent measure, also prosecuting, arresting and prosecuting perpetrators in good time is extremely important in forestalling a repeat of same incidences. The next part is the Honourable Member would like to know when the government will apprehend the culprits responsible for financing and mobilizing during demonstrations that led to the destruction of property and deaths of 28 June and July 7th this year. Mr. Speaker, the National Police Service initiated investigations into a range of offences committed during the recent demonstrations. The investigations aim to identify individuals who financed, facilitated, and mobilized the demonstrations across the country, leading to the destruction of public and private property, loss of lives, and injuries to civilians and police officers. In the course of these investigations, the service has obtained several financial statements and data linked to persons of interest, which are currently undergoing forensic analysis. Additionally, information relating to the registration particulars of companies, non-governmental organizations, and societies believed to have played roles, and non-governmental organizations and societies which are believed to have played a role in facilitating the protest has been acquired. The National Police Service is working in close collaboration with various government agencies and stakeholders to expedite investigations. These include the National Transport and Safety Authority, the National Registration Bureau, the Communication Authority, the National Intelligence Service, the Registrar of Companies, the Financial Reporting Center. So far, preliminary analysis of this evidence gathered have led to the identification of several persons of interest believed to have participated in illegal acts during demonstrations and those linked to the funding and mobilization of the demonstrators. About 1,500 people have been arrested countrywide and are facing various charges including terrorism, murder, robbery with violence, sexual assault, arson, malicious damage to property, and targeted attacks on strategic infrastructure. The police have also arrested and arraigned 15 individuals across the country associated with the planning and mobilization and have since been charged with various offenses, including offenses under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, unlawful assembly, participation in unauthorized demonstrations, incitement to violence, organizing unlawful protest, destruction of public property, arson, malicious damage to property, aiding and abetting unlawful acts, unlawful possession of ammunition, unlawful possession of tear gas canisters. Investigation to identify additional financiers and mobilizers of the protest and arraign them before the court are ongoing. I submit, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Yes, the first shot goes to the questioner. Kimani, you are satisfied? If you are, we give way to somebody else.
I think the statement is quite comprehensive, but we really urge the National Police Service to make sure there is protection of lives and property. The other citizens. And this issue of attacking people, their persons, their personal property because of a national matter must really come to an end. It's very, very unfortunate, and we are hoping that the Minister will put all effort necessary to make sure, yes, as much as the rights of the protesters are protected, the properties and the rights of other citizens are protected as well. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Robert Mbui, let me have Robert Mbui before I come to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I do sympathize, of course, with the rights of people being trampled on and the property that is destroyed. But, Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the CS, because he's been on record on these matters, how will you deal with the police officers that would shoot demonstrators when it is on record that none other than the President, yourself, and a high-ranking member of this House have actually given instructions, shoot on sight, to our police officers?
KJ.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you. And I must commend Waziri for the response that he's made to the House. And Mr. Speaker, allow me, we might not be, as a country, we should not be like the warthog to forget too quickly. I think there is commendation that needs to go to Waziri, being the most immediate former Minister for Sports, for being able to play a part in delivering CHAN, in delivering the elections at FKF, getting us a good team, and the results that we are seeing. Waziri, you deserve some accolades for the work you did in your short stint as Minister for Sports. We are seeing the results. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, as Waziri has indicated, the Dagoretti South constituency received a disproportionately higher share of the violence, especially on the 25th of June last year, 25th of June this year, and on the 7th, Sabasaba, and in part because being in Nairobi, when there are protests in the city, some of our officers are deployed in the city center and some of our institutions are left exposed. But Mr. Speaker, I want to commend Waziri because immediately on the following day, he was in Dagoretti, he was on the ground, he made responses, and my question is in two parts. My question is, would Waziri tell us what it shall take for us to get officers at Mudhoa Police Station? Mudhoa Police Station is not too far away from Dagoretti Police Station. Dagoretti Police Station carries our name, but administratively it is in Kikuyu. However, in the absence of Kengongo, which we call Dagoretti Police Station, that whole area now is totally exposed. But the people of the area have given land. The constituency, through NGCDF, has already constructed a police post as Mudhoa. These police posts would serve as a good center for security officers if only some officers would be deployed to the Mudhoa police station and a beefing up of Matini Police Station. So, Mr. Speaker, because the stations are already complete, I just need to know from Waziri, what shall it take to have police officers deployed to Mudhoa Police Station, and the beefing up of police officers and police equipment like cars to Matini Police Station? I really thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to joyride on this question. Thank you very much.
Minister. Hold, Minister, hold. Mkunji.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I'm one of those people that were arrested during Sabasaba. And Honorable Speaker, I was on my way, trying to make my way through Thika Road. And police officers, close to 40 of them, from nowhere came, arrested me without telling me exactly what I have done. They intimidated me, took me to a police station in Gatundu, and without even writing anything in the OB, Honorable Speaker, I was put in a cell alone. Anybody who came inside to ask whether I'm in that place, Honorable Speaker, was told I'm not around. And it's until around 7 p.m. when I heard people shouting outside that, Honorable Speaker, I shouted from the cell to say, Honorable Speaker, that I'm in that police station without knowing exactly what has been written. Honorable Speaker, I have listened to the CS. And Honorable Speaker, I feel sad because while his statement...
Ask him a question.
Yes, while his statement is talking of some sort of hard work he's doing, the of demonstrations to fight against some political opponent. Honorable Speaker, I want to ask Waziri to be genuine on matters to do with fighting criminals. And Honorable Speaker, I want you to know, I want to actually Waziri to tell me under what circumstance are people who are found in demonstrations, and it happens that during demonstrations there happens to be destruction of property, and I'm not void to say pole to anybody who has lost property during this time. But Honorable Speaker, there is a squeeze and a push on intimidation.
You are making a statement instead of asking a question. This is question time.
I'm getting to the question, Honorable Speaker.
I've given you time to ask him a question.
I want to ask Waziri whether, while he is giving statistics, and I have seen many young people in Kahawa being charged with terrorism. Of course, that is a case that is under court and cannot be discussed. But, Honorable Speaker, I want to ask, is he genuine to actually push for such enormous charges? Charges that we know, Honorable Speaker, are charged to people like Osama bin Laden, Honorable Speaker.
Osama bin Laden was never charged anywhere.
But he is a terrorist, we know that, and Al-Shabaab and other people.
We have no evidence.
Kahawa Law Court is known to be a special court.
Yes.
When you're taken there, Honorable Speaker, it means you are either being charged with terrorism or drug trafficking, Honorable Speaker. I want to ask Waziri to be genuine and make sure that while he is fighting on these matters to do with clear demonstrations and clean demonstrations, he is not using it against political opponents, and he is not being misused to fight political opponents, Honorable Speaker.
Minister, you can answer that now.
Mr. Speaker, let me first start by appreciating the questions raised and thank Honorable Kimani for reiterating that we must put a lot of effort to protect both protesters and those who do not want to engage in protest by ensuring that their properties are safe. Mr. Speaker, sorry, I'm trying to open a document somewhere, but I'll come to that later. Mr. Speaker, on the question of, and therefore I take the comment from the Honorable Kimani very seriously. Number two is, Mr. Speaker, yes, I'm now there. The Speaker, on the, how do you deal with police officers who shoot and kill people, as Honorable Robert Mbui has raised? And first of all, let me say that the Constitution and the law provides for instances of limitation of the right to life. And Mr. Speaker, it's very clear from the Constitution and also from the law. I issued a directive to the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Speaker, my first of that kind, which is the directive, Mr. Speaker, I was trying to look for, which is a policy directive number 1 of 2015 on the use of force and the use of firearm. Mr. Speaker, in this directive, I made it clear in writing to reiterate what I verbally pronounced when I was in Kikuyu, that police officers have a right to protect themselves when their lives are in danger, or when the life of any citizen of this country is in danger. Mr. Speaker, I also explained how they can use force, why they must not use excessive force where there is no danger to life. And I further also explained, Mr. Speaker, what measures we should take, National Police Service should take in this directive to the Inspector General of Police, which include, Mr. Speaker, deploying only officers that are mentally sound, that, Mr. Speaker, are not undergoing any stressful incidences or may have mental health challenges. I also said, Mr. Speaker, protective gear must be given to police officers. Further, I also explained that it is necessary for the National Police Service working together with the Attorney General to ensure that they protect police officers who may be sued or investigated, Mr. Speaker, as a result of protecting themselves or protecting their lives. Mr. Speaker, we have commenced that process, and all the police officers who are facing investigations and were charged for using force or firearm while they were performing their lawful duties, Mr. Speaker, now have a right to be represented by the Attorney General or lawyers from the National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, therefore, I made the statement consciously, knowing that the responsibility to hold police officers accountable is with the IPOA, and this is the ministry that has a policy responsibility to ensure that police officers are responsible. In our Jukwaa la Usalama forum, where we have been meeting all the OCSs in every county, and the sub-county commanders and the county commanders and county security teams, I have also made it clear that the police officers should be respectful to the people of Kenya, should not apply excessive force, and they should protect themselves, Mr. Speaker, when their lives are in danger. I know this conversation is at the context of a peaceful environment, or rather peaceful areas like Nairobi and other parts. But when I went to places like Samburu, Tana River, Turkana, Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo, this conversation changes because the life-threatening environment that the police officers operate, Mr. Speaker, suddenly the use of force becomes something else, especially if you are in the border of Kitui and Tana River and you're facing serious acts of banditry with very armed characters invading police stations and targeting civilians. You quickly see, even political leaders, their perspective of use of force changes quickly when you take them to Malaso Valley or La Pendera or other parts of this country. So, Mr. Speaker, the directive I gave is uniform. It's not just for protests, it's for all instances that police may face that situation. So, to Honorable Mbui, I am very conscious. As a lawyer, I'm very aware of my constitutional responsibilities, and I made sure that I put it in writing so that any citizen that wants to hold me accountable or before a court of law or parliament can pick the policy directive and quickly, Mr. Speaker, hold me to account. On the question of Mudua Police Station, first of all, let me thank my friend Honorable KJ, because, Mr. Speaker, we are both sports enthusiasts. And so he's reminding me of my short stint in the sports sector, and maybe use that opportunity to tell him that he should help us to make sure that the fans on Sunday will, as much as possible, obey the CAF rules, because we love football. And I'm very happy with the work that was done by Honorable Ababu and what is being done by Honorable Mvurya going forward. Mr. Speaker, on the police station, I think I want to promise the Honorable Member that this is, once you've built a police station and it is available for us to support and deploy police officers, although we are facing strength challenges as we wait for the recruitment, we can have a conversation together and we can facilitate a conversation between you and the office of the IG to see if we can make some deployment to that police station so that it can support the Dagoretti area, Dagoretti police station area. Kingongo, is it? Yes, the Kingongo area, Mr. Speaker, for the time being. Because what people don't know, and I wonder why at many times human rights activists and many people are questioning police officers. They're not talking about these things. The Dagoretti police station, when it was banned, the police line was banned, where police officers were living with their families. And everything they had was raised down. In fact, most of the police officers jumped the fence, behind the fence there, and they were rescued by community on the other side and protected. Mr. Speaker, therefore, most of those police officers are traumatized. We had to take them for counseling and give them a break. Mr. Speaker, I know then the jurisdiction that was being covered by that police station is now void. And we can work together with the Member of Parliament from Dagoretti, even though the other side is Kikuyu constituency in Kiambu County. Police officers don't have to have county boundaries if they are enforcing the law to make sure that they protect the people. So we can have that conversation with the IG and support Honorable KJ upon completion of my presence here. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Mukunji has raised an issue that is personal to him on a matter that is alive in court. Mr. Speaker, I am very restrained to say much because I am sure that Honorable Mukunji understands that I am not the judge and he has a choice to either prosecute his case here in Parliament or prosecute it in a court of law. And therefore, opening a gun of worms can possibly, Mr. Speaker, prejudice the trial, which involves fair trial on his part. But suffice to note, Mr. Speaker, that the National Police Service do not arrest anyone for political reasons because the IG is not a politician. Neither is the DCI a politician, nor the National Police Service is not a political party. So, Mr. Speaker, there is no political scores to be settled. Mr. Speaker, they just do their job independently and constitutionally to make sure that, Mr. Speaker, the people of Kenya are protected. No, Mr. Speaker, I am sufficiently informed, Mr. Speaker, and as per the standing orders, yes, I cannot be informed.
You are not a debater in this House.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Yes. Mr. Speaker, lastly is to say that, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, what is your point of order?
Is the minister in order to say policemen don't arrest politicians, while in last Parliament, it is clear and is on record, crying that he was being harassed by the regime then at that time, and that his people then were being harassed and arrested by policemen. Is he in order, Honorable Speaker?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary is not here as a former senator. He is here in his capacity as the Cabinet Secretary. So, Mr. Speaker, and I'm not here to answer my own questions. I ask questions that are asked by the Cabinet Secretaries. Mr. Speaker, and so I am...
Leave history to history books.
Yes, so we've come through all that, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, just to use that opportunity, without really delving to the case of Honorable Mukunji, to remind the House that, Mr. Speaker, Prevention of Terrorism Act in section, is that section 3? Sorry, I had to Google because I was not prepared for it. Section 2, Mr. Speaker, on the part of definitions. Define a terrorism act, Mr. Speaker, to be, one, it says, means an act or a threat of action which involves the use of violence against a person, endangers the life of a person other than the person committing the action, creates a serious risk to the health and safety of the public or section of the public, result in serious damage to property, involves the use of firearm or explosives, involves the release of any dangerous, hazardous, toxic, or radioactive substance or microbial or other biological agent or toxin into the environment, interference with an electronic system resulting in the disruption of a provision of communication, financial, transport or other essential services, interference of and disrupt the provision of essential or emergent service, Mr. Speaker, like the medical case in Kitengela, interference or disrupt its provisions of essential or emergent services, prejudices national security or public safety. So, Mr. Speaker, it's in black and white. If your acts in any way involve use of force or violence, it is enough for you to be charged for terror. And, Mr. Speaker, you don't have to be Osama bin Laden to be a terrorist. It's enough, Mr. Speaker, once you invade a police station, ban a court, ban a supermarket, Mr. Speaker, ban government installation, create fear, use, Mr. Speaker, the opportunity you have to disrupt emergency services like medical services, transport, you are a terrorist. And so, Mr. Speaker, what's only remaining is to go through court process to find out whether Honorable Mukunji is culpable. Otherwise, the acts on their own, Mr. Speaker, especially financing, is even more serious, Mr. Speaker, if you are involved in it. And, Mr. Speaker, it is laughable. These things are laughable until the day of conviction. You know, it's still jokes. Until, Mr. Speaker, when you are convicted of terror, then you realize the consequences that brings to you as a person and, Mr. Speaker, your loved ones or any other person associated to you. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish my friend the very best. When I met him first when he came to Parliament, he looked like a pastor, Mr. Speaker. I was then surprised that he was suspected of such very serious and heinous acts. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mark Mwenje.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.